Now that Dawn's students have their literature circle books, she wants to return to the idea of visual literacy, this time taking a critical literacy approach to the topic.
Target audience. I'm going to tell you what A is. A is all detergent.
Yeah.
How many of you do laundry in your house? Few of you, okay? So I might recognize that a little bit more than you might recognize that, because I'm just guessing I probably buy laundry detergent more than you do. Okay, so this is going to be definitely related to audience too, which ones we're gonna notice. So what about B?
Barbie? Bubble. No, it's not Barbie.
Oh,
Bubble.
Bubblicious. Bubblicious. Yep. C.
Camel.
How about V? V is food as well, or beverage. V8. Yes. All right. So anything that's healthier we don't recognize, what does that suggest about our culture? Because you're asking really critical, sharp questions, like what are the implications for the fact that we can read almost every single one of these letters, not as alphabetic texts, but logos and branding that happens in terms of consumerism.
Having discussed logos and advertisements, Dawn now wants to take a look at some more complicated images and have ethical discussions about the ways that they are constructed.
This is the image that came out when they were advertising for their school. Did we notice anything different about those two images? Yeah, oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
What do we notice that we're laughing
They
at?
added a guy on the Just like a random guy.
We added someone. What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
That's so
I think it's just like this random creature.
Oh my god, it was so photoshopped. This gentleman was added into the photo. Why?
To make it more diverse.
It was all white.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Alright, why would the school want that? To show Beverly and then Annie.
Because my sister went to college and we're looking at colleges, and a lot of them were talking about how like their school was so diverse and that they didn't really they wanted to take care of all of the races and stuff. So this Wisconsin probably wanted to show their diversity as well. Although there wasn't actually a person like that in the picture.
Now he's a student from that same school. So is it okay to put him in the photo because he's a student there?
I mean, well, sure, but he's just kind of petty.
Yeah.
Having looked at a number of examples from popular media and internet memes, Dawn now turns back to a whole class conversation.
Many of you did that. I also heard one group say, I don't know what to trust anymore. Anybody ever feel like that? Like, oh my gosh, now there's this total pressure of what am I going to believe? So how do we deal with that?
Finally, Dawn reminds students of the many activities in which they've engaged over the past few weeks, preparing them for their research-based essay and their final multimodal presentation.
I know it's been 3 weeks actually because of our spring break in there. You've been asking questions. You had 5 self, 5 world questions. We've had a lot of cultural conversations, from our collage to looking at rappers to looking at a variety of texts that impact the way we look at culture. TED Talks, magazines, commercials. We've looked at you pulling out quick fire, fast images. So based on everything that you've been doing, we're going to get at this question of, all right, so what? What are we thinking about all of this? What are we thinking from our literature circle books that we're going to keep reading and be ready for our first meeting on Monday for? What are we thinking about? So there's a lot there. Came out because they said, gosh, doesn't she look great? Well,
throughout this conversation, students are engaging in critical viewing practices, helping them read the world around them. Additionally, they are both making sense of how marketing affects their lives, and they are also building connections to their inquiry questions about culture and what's happening in their literature circle book. In this way, all of these moves in this lesson are focused around inquiry and careful, critical reading of both visual and written texts.
Here was digitally created.